but I understand the basics. Oh, we got a car off. It's Ethan, the number 11, and he's just going to drive into me. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Now, today I thought I'd record another one of the officials that I've been doing. This is going to be a 20-lap race around Long Beach in the NASCAR trucks. I'm going to be doing it in the Ford F-150 because it's the only one I own, but still definitely my favourite. But yeah, so it's a 20-lap race. We're going to have, I think, about 30 cars on the grid, so a decently sized grid. But we're just going to see how well we do. Playing with the new pedal. The second race with my new pedal, so I'm going to have the pedal cam on. I'm at least going to try to. Clutch and everything, and we're going to see how we get on. So I'm going to see you all on the grid, and hopefully you all enjoy this video. Okay guys, so here we are kind of on the grid. We're on the formation lap at the moment. We've only got half a formation lap to do, which is good because I was not interested in doing a full one. I qualified P11 in the end, which isn't too bad considering I only did one lap, and that one lap was about 2 seconds off pole, which is not ideal, but it's okay. We're gonna look past it. We've got no fast repairs for this race. 20 laps. We're just gonna try and survive, and then maybe hopefully get into the top 10. That is the goal, really. Got a lot of people around us. There's going to be a lot of carnage down into turn 1, so we basically just got to stay out of the bullshit, and we should be okay. But the safety car is going to come in through the hairpin. We go. The safety car should be in a moment. I was quite slow through the hairpin, but they're going already. So, as we come out of the hairpin, green flag straight away. Up to 4th gear, into the sweeper, the right-hander. Not sure where Ethan is going to go. He's the number 11. We're just going to go to the right a bit, and then we're going to get on the brakes early. I have no interest in being on his outside in turn 1, or turn 2, whatever you want to call it. Through we go. Everyone seems to have gotten through pretty okay into the fountain section. There's a crash behind me somewhere, but we've gotten through fairly nicely, so everyone seems to still be in this race. A little bit of smoke coming from in front, a few people going side by side. I'm going to jump over that curb, and then away we go down towards the street, which I've forgotten the name of, into 2nd gear. Pine Avenue, that's the one. And a little bit deep there on the brakes, but people seem to be getting all squirrely. We've got a decent gap out behind us, I think because of that accident in the fountain, but we don't really have to worry behind. We've just got to worry in front for this race. Up to 3rd gear, and then up to 4th we're in the slipstream, but we can take it easy as well. Ethan cutting back to the racing line after having a look on the number 12 car. That was a little sketchy, but it's okay. We're going to get on through the left-handers, and then down to 1st, still tucked in behind the number 11 car. I can't really see where that wall is on the inside. Oh, and he nearly loses it coming out of the hairpin. We're going to go to the left, stay to the left, and then hopefully we might be able to pick up a move into turn 1, but Ethan does look like he is struggling a bit for grip and for confidence. To the inside we go. On the brakes where I want to be. If we get him, we get him. If we don't, we don't, and we haven't. He's more confident on the brakes there than I am. Into the fountain again. Hard on the brakes. Oh, and understeering out towards the wall. That was dangerous. Definitely going to be in, well, definitely going to want to be in 1st gear there, I think, from now on. 2nd gear didn't really work for me there. We've got a yellow flag in front. Somebody's off to the side. That is a lapped car, Beckett Wood. So that is not going to be a position for us. Down into 2nd gear for Pine Avenue. Get it turned in. That was a much better line than what I managed on lap 1. As away we go again. Up towards, what is this here? This is Seaside Way. Still learning the street names here, but getting to it. Number 11 was slow. On the exit of the right-hander, we're going to have a look. Definitely have a look. Rev the nuts off it in 3rd, and then down to 2nd. We are not going to get close as the number 12 is going off and backwards in this race. I nearly went up the back of the number 11, but I did well to keep it out of his rear end. Down into the hairpin, and oh, he's even slower on this occasion. He might have damage. He definitely, like, I know the car in front made a mistake all on his own, but it was the number 11 that actually tipped him into the full 180. So he might just have a little bit of damage on that front end. It's going to be something to watch out for, but we are up a position. down into second gear, maybe second a bit early there. You could hear the compression lock at the back. Down into first. Oh no, on the brakes, getting a little bit loose, and a big correction into second gear. Clutching up as I brake, that is interesting. And then into the right-hander, still very much getting used to this, but not doing too badly so far. We're in the top 10, that was the goal, and we've just got to chase after Ethan. We know that in certain spots on this circuit, he does not have the pace. So if we can just stay consistent, stay with him for the majority of this lap, we should be able to find a way past fairly soon. But after that little mishap, he did manage to gain a little bit of time on us. The gap is 1.6 seconds. They're still fighting up at the front of the field, as you can see in the top right with the standings overlay. So there is time for people to make mistakes. As talking of mistakes, I've just gone and whacked the wall. That was not good. I really should have been in second gear there. But it's okay. Don't think we have too much damage. Oh, and this car is really refusing to stop. That is a 2x for us. But yeah, we don't have damage miraculously. Oh, actually, no, I do. It's out by like a degree or so. So that's not ideal. But it feels okay for the most part, so we are going to press on. But Ethan is now actually starting to find some speed. He's catching up with Caden in front into turn 1. Ooh, rising over that curb. That was too much curb there. We don't want to do that again. And we got an accident in front. I'm going to just back it off slightly. It's one of these lapped cars there, which was causing problems. That is the number 18 car, Nick Downs. And we're going to tuck him behind. And oh, look at how slow he is through the right-hander. That's going to cost me time. I didn't have anywhere else to go. It's going to allow Timothy to have just a little look on the exit, but he isn't going to get close enough either. Still racing with this damage. It's not too bad. Like, I still have the pace, and Caden is now going to drop a position. We've got cars off somewhere. Oh, car behind me has just hit the wall on the inside. I did mention that in qualifying, how you wanted to take that curb but not hit the wall, and he's just done that. That is going to hamper him a little bit. He probably could have had a look into the corner we're going through now if he hadn't done that. But it's going to make him sit behind for just a little bit longer. Second gear through the double left-handers, and then down to first for the hairpin. This is the number 14 car in front of us, and looks like he's struggling. As down the main straight we go before it becomes a corner. Getting it turned in. There we go, not too bad. And then, oh no, fourth is our maximum. Can't be shifting up anymore. I always forget that it only has four gears. Into turn 1, a little lock up. Not too bad. And then first gear on the brakes. Oh man, that was dangerous. It's so hard to get that turned in there. And then through the right-hander. Please excuse the dog barking in the background. Into the right-hander we go. Nice. Number 14 still getting squirrely there. So I think he is definitely someone which we can pass. Timothy behind us is starting to drop away. So I think that hit against the wall has really done a bit of harm to his truck. Not compared to my hit with the wall. Into the right-hander. And then round we go. So the number 14 really struggling to get away from some of these corners. Third gear we go into. We're going to leave it in third. And oh, he's blinking a bit as well. That's the last thing I want to see. Into the right-hander here. Use that curve. There's a puff of smoke from the 14. And where am I going to go? I could go really anywhere. He's going to go wide. Wide. Get it turned in. And away we go. Once again, look, he's just not finding that traction. We're going to go to the right. Tuck out from underneath him. Into fourth. And then through turn 1 we go. Am I going to get close? He's going to lift massively. I'm going to go to the inside, but once again, I'm not confident enough on the brakes to make a pass, but I'm just going to wait for him to make an error, because he will make one, judging by the way he's driving. As yet, there it is. What did I just say? I just said he would make a mistake, and he's gone and done just that. Into second gear for the right-hander. We go in, and we're going to pick up a place there. Not too bad. Thank you very much. And now the next goal is to get away from him. We've got to put the pace down, and we've got to get away from the number 14 car, because I'm worried that if I stay too close to him, I'm going to get absolutely drilled if he makes another mistake. So that's what we got to do. Get that pace away into Seaside Way again. Getting it close to that wall, but crucially staying off of it. Up to third. We're on lap 6, so we've got a long way to go in this race. Getting it on the brakes, second gear on the way in, and really fighting with this car to get the pace out of it. And look at how much I'm pulling on the number 14 already, and I'm not really that quick in the grand scheme of things. Into the right-hander. This is always series like this where they run oval cars on street courses. It always proves to be a series where you get big gaps in the field in terms of pace. People not really practicing and people not really understanding how to drive stock cars on road courses, so you always get those big gaps. Through we go. I for one have never been massively quick, but I understand the basics. Oh, we got a car off. It's Ethan, the number 11, and he's just going to drive into me, and I'm going to do a perfect 360 and save it, and I may or may not have any damage, but I went right. I went right to avoid him, and he just drove into me a little bit. It's going to let the 14 back through, but he definitely has damage because he just hit me in the side, or up the rear, I should say. I don't know about our own car. As long as we're not meatballed, I am comfortable. Because if we get meatballed, we don't have a fast repair. But I don't know how I've survived that accident. We're going to press on. But Ethan is going to have a lot of damage now. That is really going to hamper him. Yeah, nice rejoin, dude. Nice rejoin. And we're going to press on. I know that... So Caden in front is missing that front bumper. Because he hit me up the rear. Question is, if he's missing the front, am I missing the rear? And I'm probably banged up on the side because that's where Ethan tagged me. And, oh, this is just blown this race wide open. It's just made it that slightly bit more interesting. And look at Caden struggling everywhere, struggling for turn in. And we're going to keep it going. This is now onto lap 8 of 20, so we're not quite halfway there yet. Fourth gear on the way through. And, oh, yeah, getting a bit of oversteer through turn 1. That is something I'm going to have to watch. Third gear. And then second into the first corner. Getting it turned in. There we go. And getting it turned in for the hairpin. Oh, number 14 getting loose again. We're going to try and pick up an identical move we did on him earlier. This is lap 8 this time, and I'm going to go up the inside. There you go. Nicely done. That is going to put us up into 8th place, albeit with a absolutely ruined Ford F-150, I must say. It doesn't feel great, but crucially, it does feel drivable at least, so we are going to press on. I do not understand how we don't have a meatball from that incident, but we are okay. We're going to press on, and now we've got Timothy behind us. He doesn't have much damage, at least compared to what we have, so he is going to be an issue in this race. Caden is now going to start dropping back with his damage. He didn't have a whole lot of pace to begin with. Get it turned in, Thomas, for the right-hander. That was a lot of understeer, so something is definitely broken on this truck. But I just got to live with it now, because if I pit, then it's going to be my race over. Out we go, of the hairpin. A little bit of a short shift to get the traction. We've got Matthew Murphy, the number 9 car, closing in. I think he took a pit lane start, because he has a clean car at the moment, so he is catching us up quite badly. But yeah, Timothy is now the person to worry about. Into turn 1, past the banners, getting close to that red line, on the brakes. Gear 2. Gear 2 does seem to work because it gives you the traction on the exit. As long as you get it stopped enough, I think Gear 2 is actually okay for the fountain section. On the brakes again. Oh no, man, this is hard work. I have to admit, this is very hard work. Up to third gear. We are 16 minutes into this race. So they aren't short races, these ones. They aren't short by any means. Getting it turned in there, and I think if anything that's damaged, miraculously it isn't the suspension or anything, it's just the weight distribution. Because of that damage on the left-hand side, it just feels a little loose through the right-hander corners as it's sort of just offsetting its weight in an odd way. There's probably a panel missing there, which is causing that. Through the right-hander we go. Oh, big oversteer moment. Matthew Murphy has gotten past Caden and those guys, so he is going to start getting close to us now. He definitely has more pace than us. Also because he's got a clean car, but up to second gear. Away we go. Third gear now. And then fourth as we head through turn 1. Lap 10 now, so we're just about halfway through this race. Third, second, on the way in, and I've just got to start finding, even if it's not much, it just needs to be a little bit of pace I need to find to start getting away from these guys, because I want nothing to do with them. As you can quite clearly tell, I don't want to be anywhere near that. Through the right hander we go. Not too bad. On the brakes again. And there we go. Out we go. Up to third gear. Still got plenty of fuel left in the tank. I don't know why they overfuel us so much. But hey, we'll live with it. It does make the car quite heavy. And I wonder if there just might be any collisions further up the road. There's a crash behind us. That is Timothy in the wall. So that is going to rule him out of contention briefly. I think there was... maybe there was contact with Matthew behind. I'm not entirely sure, but Matthew has gained time on us. I was a bit slow going onto Seaside Way on the brakes. Down to second gear, using that gear stick. And around we go. Not too bad. But yeah, he is catching us up quite quickly now. Into the hairpin. This is the hardest part on the Formula wheel, because you've got to take your hands off to get the steering angle. Up to second gear. Lots of oversteer on the exit. I'm really going to be burning up these tyres towards the end of this race, so we're going to have to keep an eye on that. Here we go again. But crucially, we are building that gap on Caden. We're not going to be anywhere near him anytime soon. Down into second gear. For turn 1, rising over that curb. You don't want to take too much of it, but you can take enough where you can just go slightly off the ground. That is the ideal line, through the fountain. And you want to be at 100 kilometers an hour before you hit this right-hander, definitely. There we go. Timothy has got back past Caden, but it's just gotten cost him 3 seconds there. So maybe not the ideal strategy. But yeah, Matthew is quite quick. Don't know if I'm going to be able to hold him off. Number P2 has now dropped down to 5th place. So he's been involved in incidents somewhere. We can see it on the relative. So I wonder if he's got a meatball or something, because that could bring us up another position. Down into the right-hander. Not too bad. And away we go down the straight again. So now I think this is where we just settle into a rhythm. Now that we've essentially cleared everybody, we settle into a rhythm. If Matthew comes past, he comes past. I will fight him, but not too hard, because I want to get to the end. But, oh, I feel kind of limited. But we'll see what we can do. Into the hairpin again. Oh, and I've missed a gear, That is going to open up the door for Matthew to go into. And then into second. Oh, and he hasn't gotten the exit. We've got a car off in turn 1. Gilles Gallant is off. So that's not good for him. He's going to lose a lot of time. I wonder if he has damage, but crucially, Matt isn't going to get ahead of us. I just missed that gear going into the hairpin. I got a lot of understeer going in because I didn't get it into first. And I'm surprised Matt didn't capitalise on that. He made a mistake coming out and got too much wheel spin and didn't get the drive down the straight. So we're going to keep him behind for a little bit longer. On lap 12, still got just a little ways to go. But we're in P8 at the moment. We're not in too bad of a spot. Third gear now. Back down to second for Pine Avenue. Get it turned in. There you go. Swinging out to the wall. But this is a good battle at the moment. I am enjoying this. I love driving these cars. These are one of my favourites, especially on tracks like Indy. These cars are awesome. Oh, he's getting close. He is getting close. Up to third. Go to the limiter in third gear and then braking for the right-hander. Second gear on the way in and using that rumble strip to get it turned in. We are catching up to Gilles. I think he's probably got a fair amount of damage. I've also taken way too shallow a line through the double right. And once again, I just slightly missed that gear. But once again, Matthew is going to get a lot of wheel spin coming off the hairpin onto lap 13. So I think it is just going to be this game of cat and mouse with him losing it in the final hairpin and then getting back to me for the rest of the lap. And it's going to be like that for the rest of the race. Down to second gear for turn 1. I really don't have the pace. I'm sort of just taking it easy. I mean, I'm doing 28 second lap times, 1 minute 28. I did a 1 minute 26 in qualifying, on my one shit lap, so you can see how slow I am going. So the right-hander up to 130 kilometers an hour there or thereabouts between the two right-handers. Power again, Ethan looks like he has crashed into somebody else. So they're just losing more and more time as we just continue to plod our way around the track. Gap is now 7.5 seconds to P10. So that is working nicely in my favour. Looks like, unless I make a catastrophic error, the lowest I can go is 9th place. But we are in P8 at the moment. Here comes Matt. This is the opportunity he was looking for. He did really well to get off the right-hander. I'm going to leave him the space into the right-hander, and he's going to slide his way up the inside. And whoa, big moment there for me. That isn't going to help or do me any favours. Into the right-hander. First gear on the way in. I am sweating absolute balls at the moment. But out of the hairpin, he's going to get that traction. So I think he's finally got that car down now. He knows what he's doing. And then 4th gear on the way through. That was a 29.0 that lap. It looks like Ethan is catching us back up. Into the third and then 2nd. Don't miss the gear. No. Off. I hit the wall again. That's really going to hurt me again. I just missed that gear down into 2nd. And I cannot make any more of those mistakes. But somehow, we still don't have a meatball. This truck has taken an absolute beating. Some of the beatings have been my own mistake. Some of them haven't. But yeah, I'm amazed that this truck is still working. But yeah, just missing that gear into turn 1, like getting on the clutch, thinking going into 2nd, it doesn't get into 2nd because I haven't clutched in all the way. And then as soon as you miss a gear, you're just going for that wall. Caden has just crashed again. Ethan gets that gap down to 5 seconds because of my mistake. So I lost about 4 seconds there to Ethan behind, and I lost 3 seconds to Matthew in front by hitting the wall. But we are still going in this race. We're on lap 14, which is about to become lap 15. First, there you go. Get it turned in. Nicely done. That is what I need. Oh, and Ethan has crashed again. That is going to be him out of this race by the looks of things. Pardon the voice crack. But he's found the wall. So people falling short everywhere around here. And on every lap. But that has dropped into 17 seconds. So he's really come a gutser. Matthew has hit the wall as well. That's going to cost him 2 seconds. And that's going to bring me right back into it. So everybody, including myself, is finding the wall at this point in time. Ethan is now in the pit, so that is going to be him well and truly out of the running order. Into the right-hander. Matthew still got the pace to get away from me, but if he's got a meatball, I mean, I guess you never know, do you? Down into Pine Avenue on 2nd gear. Oh, get it turned in. I'm very hot at the moment. Oh, we've now got the leader on our relative, 37 seconds behind. But he's had a very good race. Into Seaside Way. Gap is 2.3 seconds to Matthew in front. Down the straight, on the brakes. 2nd gear, get it turned in. Nicely done. Hopefully that's not an X. And it's not. And through we go. Unfortunately, we don't have windscreen wipers on this car, or else I'd be getting rid of that bit of rubber on my windscreen. There are no windscreen wipers on these stock cars. I've got to clutch it all the way. There you go. Nicely done. And then 3rd gear. Again, nice. And then 4th. Round we go. And we got 5 laps to go. We're on lap 16 of 20. So we're into the twilight zone of this race now. So if anybody makes a mistake, it's going to cost them big time. Into the fountain section. And there we go. Nice. Into the right-hander. And then on the brakes. Nicely done. And whew, it's not easy. Not easy doing it with this new pedal. I am definitely getting more used to it though, which is really good. And it's making my little leggies much stronger. Through Pine Avenue we go. Up towards the right-hander. But even with whatever mistake Matt made, that Matthew made, Doesn't look like it's hampered his pace in any way, which is good for him, not good for me, but good for him. So I think he is going to keep extending that gap. Ethan has now disconnected from the race. So what a shame. I'm crying so many tears for him. Into the left-hander. Second. First.
Dang it.
There we go. Oh, someone's had an accident. Barrett. Not sure if he's front or behind, but I guess we'll find out.
He flew the turn a little bit. Mark got me. He was going to get me eventually, I think.
Oh no, sounds like he's just been passed. Never mind. So I don't think we're going to capitalise on that position. We are in P9 at the moment, onto lap 17. 4 to go. Oh, and I really want this race to be over. As oh, I've got a slowdown there. Interesting. I didn't realise I crossed the line. But this is, I think, going to burn anyway. There we go. And on the brakes. And around we go. So yeah, I did get a slowdown there. I just crossed that. You do get a slowdown if you cross the pit exit line while you're on circuit. So that's what's gone on happened. To the left-hander. There you go. Nicely done. And I could really use a fan right now, but I don't know where my remote is. Into the right. Onto Seaside Way. Still doing well. But now we can just settle in for a rhythm and bring this car home. I would absolutely love to get a look at the damage on this car, because it can't be good, whatever I have. Into the right-hander. Under the bridge. I'm going to get turned in for the left. Round we go. And then, oh, first gear. Nice. There you go, get it turned in just about. And then away we go again. 3 laps to go in this race now. Oh, 3 laps to go, so not long. Not long at all. But I might just shut up for a little bit and just bring this car home. Into second gear for turn 1. Get it turned in. And the leaders are now starting to catch the cars behind us. I mean, Timothy is 31 seconds behind, so he's obviously had an accident too. But the leader is starting to pass them all. So there are people all over this circuit. With the right-hander on the brakes. Around we go again. Getting on the power as early as I dare. Up to 80 kilometers an hour. The leader has just crossed the line to start lap 19. So he is, yeah, nearly 2/3 of a lap ahead of me at the moment. It goes to show the pace. Goes to show what happens when you put the effort in and you put the time in to be quick. You get that sort of gap. Oh, we've got a lapped car 23 seconds ahead now too. So that's just lovely. Up towards the right-hander, braking just before the 500 because I'm not confident with it. Especially with the car. And we go. Oh, a little bit of contrasting. Not contrasting, what am I saying? A little bit of oversteer there. As into the hairpin. Down to 30 kilometers an hour. Like, you're so slow through that section of the track, especially in an NASCAR truck. We're going to start lap 19. 2 laps to go for us now. So we're so nearly at the end of this race. Powering through the long sweeper. On the brakes. And in second gear. On the way in. A really nice move. And then braking again through the fountain section. I love this section of track. I think it's absolutely awesome. Power out. Clip that curb, but not the race section. You just want to keep the car flat for the right-handers. As understeering out a bit there. So I think the tyres are definitely starting to go as well now. Now we're getting into that late stage, especially the fronts with all the locking up I've been doing and the missing of gears. Like, that is where the tyres start to wear. Up to 150 before we get into Seaside Way. And away we go again. Past some of the trees. Past some of the buildings. Matthew Murphy has now got that gap to 7.5 seconds, so we're not going to be seeing him again in this race. But we're getting to the end. That is all that matters. Get it turned in. Woof! In the left-hander. There we go. Not too bad. And then on the brakes. First gear. We have gotten that gear in nicely. Slot that in. Second gear. And then third. Away we go. White flag now. So we're nearly at the end of this race. We've got one more to do. Oh dear. Through the sweeper. Just nice and easy on the brakes. We have a gap of 14 seconds behind us. So there is absolutely no need to push at the moment. We can just take it easy, bring it home, and we are going to be all good. I don't think it's possible to gain 13 seconds and then pass in one lap around here. Nice and easy through the double right. It was a pretty chaotic race, I have to say. Lap 1 was actually fairly clean. It's once we started getting into lap 2 to about lap 6 is when things got dicey. Obviously we had that hit with Ethan. I tried to go right to avoid him and then he pulled, at least from what I saw, it looked like he pulled into the middle of the track. I will have a look at the replay after that. But it cost us quite a bit of time. It really broke up the car, shredded it to pieces, but somehow we didn't get a meatball and we hit a few walls ourselves along the way, just missing those gears. As, oh, we got a car off. Matthew's off on the last lap. I don't think I'm going to be close enough to get him, but he's made a mistake on the last lap. I don't believe it. That is, oh, if we were just 2 seconds closer to him, we would have been there. Oh, that is going to be really unlucky. We're not going to get Matthew, but the gap is going to be about 2 seconds. So if we had stayed with him a little bit more, oh, what could have been there? That could have been an 8th place. But across the line, there we go. It's going to be a P9 finish of, I think that's about 16 cars. So not horrific, not awful. Pretty happy with myself. But yeah, that is going to be this video, everybody. Hopefully you all enjoyed. Stay safe, have an awesome day, make awesome choices. Hopefully you all enjoyed the pedal cam, and I'm going to see you all later. Ciao, ciao.